morning.
Hello, everyone.
We hope you had a restful night of sleep last night.
And we're going to piggyback on what we talked about with sleep yesterday and have some tips and some acupressure points and all
some natural ways to address sleep.
Yep.
Because it's so important, right?
Oh, like we said yesterday, it's really the linchpin for everything, for proper weight management, proper energy, proper stamina, you name it, clear thinking.
Yeah.
I can't think of something that it doesn't help. So
that's so true. So let's dive right in because we have quite a few tips. So we're going to start with some lifestyle tips. You probably have heard the one about turning off the screen time a half hour before you go to sleep, which is ironic. We're telling you to turn off social media and the screen since we're on
social media and the
right
screen
now.
Right.
But it's the morning.
Yeah.
It's the morning.
Yeah, it is ironic.
It's different.
Yeah.
So about a half hour before sleep, some people it might require more time than that, like an hour. That you should have no screen time, preferably. There's some type of blue light that's emitted that actually affects your hormonal levels and your melatonin release. And melatonin is your sleep hormone. So if that blue light is affecting your melatonin, then that means your sleep is not going to be as restful. Not to mention, there's so many things right now on the news, on TV, on social media that are so negative and stress-inducing that taking that break is so important.
Right.
Yeah, so that's tip number one.
To piggyback on that, what Laura just said, now please, when we say these things, they're recommendations, but we have never, we've been together for a long time, 27 years, never had a TV in our bedroom. That is really not a great place to have a television, quite honestly. I hope I'm not offending anyone with that. But I have family members that have television in their bedroom.
I think a lot of people have.
Yeah,
it. So just turn it off.
Yeah, just turn it off. About the same with the blue screen that we were talking about.
Yeah,
and
that includes phones, iPads, whatever screens that you're viewing.
I mean, there's 1,000 studies that say this.
Yeah.
1,000 studies that talk about this. So,
yeah, it's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true. So some habits starting at the beginning of the day, you're starting at the sleep time, turning off the screens, hopefully getting a good night's sleep. But in the morning, getting some sunlight is really helpful. So the sunlight actually...
Yes, we have.
Yay, we actually have sunlight.
Yes.
Sunlight actually indicates to your body that it's daytime and it's time to wake up. And that actually starts to shut down melatonin release. So it gets us ready for the day. And as we go through the day, as darkness comes, that actually indicates to our body that it's nighttime, and when it's dark, we want to go to sleep.
Those natural rhythms.
Yeah,
right?
It's called the circadian rhythm, which is our body's natural clock that tells us, the times where we're sleeping, we're eating, we're moving, we're waking up, we're being productive, all those type of things. So paying attention to that. If you can get out in the morning for like 20 to 30 minutes in sunlight, and if you can, on top of that, maybe double it up with some exercise, that will make a huge difference, because exercise is so important to sleep as well, because you want to expend energy so that you're actually tired at the end of the day. Also, exercise is great for helping out with stress levels, and oftentimes when we hear about sleep problems, it's that people wake up in the middle of the night or they're trying to fall asleep and their brain is just going and going and going, and you're thinking about all the problems in the world. Which there's just a little bit of them right now. Yeah. But in the middle of the night, there's really nothing you can do about that. You need to have a good night's sleep so you can wake up in the morning and face them head on, and you solve all those problems.
Yep.
So getting some exercise is really important as well. And if you can double that up, you can be outside in the sunshine, also getting some exercise. It's really going to help out with your sleep. Okay, so making sure you get moving. The ideal amount is 150 minutes a week, meaning that maybe like 5 days a week doing 30 minutes. Split it out how you like. It could be different spots during the day. It could be 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, but just making sure that you get moving is really important.
And the pedestrian things can help too. Go out and chop wood. Our friend Cam is watching this morning. He cuts his own. I know he cuts a lot of his own wood.
I've seen that wood stack.
Yeah.
Man,
so cutting wood, things like that. Going out and picking up branches from wind over the winter. It doesn't have to be. Everybody thinks that has to be this, you go to a gym or you have a home gym or you're doing push-ups, those are great. Believe me, I do those.
Right.
But
right
I go
now
out
it's
and do raking leaves, things like that. That is the body in movement. So
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
Yeah. So, we think about these different things during the day and we don't realize the impact that it has on everything that you do.
Right.
So things like movement, making sure Angela asked yesterday about eating late at night. So 2 to 3 hours before you go to sleep, making sure that you're done with your eating. So your body has that time period to digest, and then when you're resting, you're not using your energy to try to do that. Your body can just rest. Because when we're sleeping, as we mentioned before, your body's repairing and healing.
So regarding, can I just add something to that? If you can just keep the 3-hour rule, like Laura said, in mind. If you go to bed at 9, don't eat past 6. You go to bed at 10, don't eat past 7. You don't go to bed at 11, don't eat past 8.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep that. If you keep that 3-hour rule in mind, it'll really, really help.
Right.
Because just to add to what she just said.
No. I think it's a good rule. You can set yourself at 3 hours. That's great. So we also have some ideas just naturally for supplements, and then we're going to actually talk about acupressure as well.
Ones, yep.
But sometimes we need a little help with our sleep. And right now, in particular, we're getting quite a few messages about the stress level, and it's hard. The people are waking up in the middle of the night. We have financial stresses because we're not working. We have the stress, of course. It's number one stress is the health stress. Are we going to stay healthy? Is my family healthy? Are we safe? How long is this going to last? The unknown is so, that can be daunting as well.
That's the biggie right there.
Yeah. So there are some natural supplements you can take. We're talking about how the prescriptions now, they're finding some detrimental side effects and long-term side effects as well. So if we can do it naturally with lifestyle choices, that's great. If that's a little bit difficult, then there are some supplements that are really helpful. Probably one of my favorite ones is this called Benisam. This in the kind of more Western supplement world, and it's made by Metagenics. This is what it looks like. It's going to be backwards on your
right. I
screen.
keep forgetting that.
But it is actually a combination of melatonin. It does have some melatonin in it. Calcium, magnesium, and a few herbs like valerian, skullcap, hops, passion flower. And I love the fact that the 2 top ingredients are minerals. And that's another thing that can be very helpful for sleep. Oftentimes when I'm working with patients in the clinic and they're having a hard time sleeping, I ask them, do you take a calcium or a magnesium supplement?
Right.
Because many people do. And I just tell them to switch it before bedtime. And that can really help. The old saying, have a cup of warm milk before bed to help out with your sleep. That was the calcium they were talking about. So
all those grandmothers were right all those years, right?
Yep.
Unless you have a lactose intolerance, so.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and preferably, if you can do it another way, that's great, just because cow's milk there's some things that are not so great in it. So anyway, magnesium, I would say, is probably my favorite mineral for sleep, and then next, calcium as well. And many of us, like at my age, I should be taking a calcium supplement as well, as if, just for my bone health, really. And I'm taking it. I might as well just switch it to the night if I want to help out with sleep. And magnesium is wonderful because it actually relaxes the muscles as well as helps relax you. And the majority of Americans are actually deficient in magnesium. So it's a good supplement to be taking anyway.
And a shout out to women. That women lose vital minerals through menstrual blood for decades over their life of that. And so calcium, magnesium, potassium, all those, they have a different challenge than men do about that. So to keep that in mind as well.
Yeah. So Benisam is the supplement I'm talking about by Metagenics. Metagenics is a really high quality supplement company, and I really like that one. So we have a couple of Chinese herbal formulas as well. This is Tian Wang Bujandan, which sounds like Chinese because it is. And this one is really helpful. These are actually both very helpful. This is called Anmian Pian. They're both very helpful for calming the shen, or calming the spirit, and that is what we talked about yesterday a little bit, and that is helping out with just relaxing the mind.
It's housed in the heart, they say. The Chinese say it's housed in the heart.
Yep, and those are 2 different formulas for sleep, and I bring up 2 different formulas because there's actually multiple formulas according to what's going on with you, and that's how we talk about differential diagnosis in Chinese medicine. We look at everyone as an individual, so depending on your sleep habits and your type of sleeplessness, we're going to recommend different types of herbs. Like the Anmian maybe I would use that with someone that also might have some digestive issues going on as well. So yeah, we just want to talk to a practitioner if you're going to be using the Chinese herbs to try to get that down. And you can, of course, message us with questions. All right. So those are some supplements, and now we're going to go into acupressure.
Did you want to address any of the biological changes of the women?
Okay, so yeah, we can talk about that supplement as well. There's one supplement Pam had asked about, or not a supplement, she had asked about the hormonal piece for women, and when you're having that wakefulness at night, especially with like hot flashes, night sweats, that type of thing. There is a wonderful Chinese formula called 3 Immortals that will really help out with sleep and those other symptoms. So that sleep is really a reflection during that time of our lives, our second spring. Yes. A lot of women don't like it when I say that. They're like,
they don't.
What?
They don't like that.
It's not a second spring.
Right.
It's awful.
Yeah, more like...
So the 3 Immortals will help address those symptoms, and it's the overall, I would say we call it yin deficiency. So it's your overall balance throughout your day that it'll help out with, including sleep. So it would address a multitude of symptoms during menopause or perimenopausal times. And sometimes people have those symptoms at different times, like from different medications, or maybe after they've had different health procedures done, they might be having some sweats, that type of thing. So it can help out with that too, depending on your presentation.
Okay. So we're going to do 3 acupressure points. I'll make this very simple. The one is very, very simple. We'll start top and go down. It is literally between your eyes. It's called, in Sanskrit, the ajna is the spiritual center. In Buddhism and Hinduism, you see in Hinduism they wear a bindi right here. It's literally where your eyebrows come, right? That little kind of flat part of your forehead right here. Let me pull these down a little bit. So it's right here. It's called yin tong. Now, any of the 3 points that I'm going to show, when you press on them, what I do is I inhale, and then I just exhale, and I press on it for about 5 or 6 seconds. You can keep inhaling and exhaling. And I do a little rotation on it like this. I'm going like this. I'm rotating. You can just do stationary, but just inhale, exhale. It's very good for calming the mind. Very good. It's a very good stress point. It's one of our main anxiety points that we recommend. So it's really good for sleep. And you know, it can't get much easier to find. I mean, unless you're wearing a hat that covers your eyebrows, you can find this point easily without having to change clothes or anything.
Yeah, it's between the eyebrows.
It's called yin tong.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right between the eyebrows. Great point. Love this point for so many different reasons. And it's great for sinuses too.
And
sinuses
just spiritually, it's the third eye. So it's almost like you're massaging that third eye, letting it close and rest for the night.
I always thought that a band called Third Eye Blind was such a cool name. So if you don't mind, I'm going to use you to find the other 2 points. Is that okay? So the other one is one of my favorite points. It's called Ne Guan. Guan means gate. Ne means inner, I-N-N-E-R. So it's also one of the main points we use for nausea, for hiccups, for a variety of different GI issues. But it's called the heart protector. That's what I love, because the pericardium in physiology is the membrane that protects the heart. So this is called the heart protector. So the main thing is, when we say the palmar, this is the palmar aspect of the arm. The dorsum is on the back. So the palmar aspect of the forearm. And using the person's 3 or your 3, when I say find in the center of the arm, you're going to find in the center of the arm here, on the flat, from the palmar side. Using from where the arm meets the heel of the hand, you do 3 fingers width. I don't know if you can see that. And so Laura, do you mind using your fingers so we can show this? So Laura's, all this is a measuring device, these 3 fingers. This does nothing other than the width of these fingers is how to measure it. So you follow that, and under her ring finger right here, right in the middle of the forearm, on that palmar side, is the point called Ne Guan pericardium 6.
There's 2 tendons there, so you'll feel it's like right in between those tendons.
I'll give you quickly. It's flexor carpi radialis and palmaris longus. Now, if you are looking at your hand like this and make a fist, there's a little canal that appears. So using your middle finger as a guide, if you still have trouble finding, just find that and go in the middle of the forearm, right there. And again, inhale, press. If you have, like, you could be laying in bed, just inhale, exhale real slowly for a minute or two. And that's really what I've had so many people come back and tell me this really helped them with sleep. The last point is called, back to what Laura said earlier, Shen Men. Another word for gate, spirit gate. It's on the heart channel. The heart is the main organ associated often with sleep issues, either trouble going to sleep, waking up, not being able to go to sleep, etc., etc., etc. So, finding this point, what I like to do is I'll turn Laura's hand this way, and when I say break the hand, meaning just bending it, there's a little depression right there. There's just a little depression. This is your ulnar bone. This is your radius bone. So just going up like the ridge of the ulna and right off this tendon here, right on the wrist, that they call the terminal wrist crease. There's a line there. If we look at it, terminal means end. So the last crease, right inside that tendon, right off the ulna is Shen Men. Again, inhale, exhale as you press, hold it for 5 or 6 seconds, and just keep doing that. And we have found over and over and over these 3 acupressure points, yin tongue between the eyebrows, pericardium 6, which is 3 finger widths up from your wrist, and Shen Men, which is right off of the ulna, right off the ulnar tendon. I know, tell them what they're going to get, Dave. They're going to get an arm with a skin on it. Yeah, I know. Kind of looks like The Price is Right. So yin tongue, nei guan, and Shen Men. I think those 3 points will be helpful. You don't have to do them all, but try them if you're having any sleep issues or you're just trying to calm your mind.
Yeah, it's great for calming.
Yeah.
Too.
Hi, Joanna. Hi, Steve. So many people want to say hi to you. Hi, Angela.
Playing with my acupuncture points. All right. Well, we just.
I think we went way over.
Yeah.
You seem to try to keep it at 12 minutes, and we're like
Yes.
at 18 or something.
Yes.
So we're just enthusiastic about all this stuff, everyone. So
hope we didn't put you to sleep.
Yeah, I hope they didn't. Yeah, I didn't.
Or
Yeah,
maybe
that's
I
true.
hope we did.
Maybe if you're having trouble sleeping, watch this again. So
Right.
thanks. Have a good
great
day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.